And I was lost. I was like, this is freaking ridiculous. How the hell did I lose my snack? This makes no sense. It's not like I did anything unusual. And then I was like, wait, no, your morning routine is off kilter right now. You can't go and retrace your steps. You don't know what happened. You were unconscious, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, what was the one unusual thing that I did? And I went into my imagination and I just stood still and I went into my imagination and I was just like, you opened the garage door, which is something I don't normally do in the morning. I was like, oh, wait. And then I looked at the door, I looked where the door closes and I see the lock pad and it's like, what? There's no, what? This is ridiculous. And I take one step and I look down and there was my snack bag.
Mhm. That is funny.
Like
I yeah.
what we're conscious of and what we're unconscious of. The bag was there, but I wasn't conscious of it. I
Mhm.
just I couldn't fathom where my bag was. All I could fathom was how do I get my bag? How do I get my bag? How do I get it? That's all I could. But it was there the whole time. It was there the whole time. I had to become conscious of it first.
That
So
happened to
what?
me.
Yeah, that happened to you as well.
Yep. With so I have a bag of dental floss, the ones on a stick, and I have them in a specific bathroom drawer. And I was looking for some, and I went in the drawer, and I'm like, I don't see it. I move things around, and I'm like, that is so odd. Like, hmm. And I'm like, I don't recall moving it anywhere else. And I'm like, you know what? I realize I'm probably not seeing it because I am not conscious of like where it is. I said, what, you know what? I don't know, it's just gonna show up. And chances are it's probably still in this drawer where I've been looking and looking. Um I After several days I decided, okay, I'm presently not finding it, but I'm going to the store. I'm going to go buy another bag. And I bet once I get that bag, I will absolutely find it because I know it is present. Literally, I open the drawer to put the new bag in. It was, and I'm like, see, I created this. I was not seeing it before because I was not conscious of it being present. And because I put out there, well, once I get the new bag, you're going to show up. You prove me right. Because I mean, I proved myself right. I created that whole thing. So I was like, yeah,
And
whatever.
and it seems I want you to also get in Paula's story. It seems trivial. It seems very trivial. Oh, we lost the toothpick, and I'm looking for my toothpick, called toothpick, whatever it is, right? Whether it's you name it, your keys, your wallet, your backpack. You seem to have lost it because it's nowhere to be found. But as soon as you decide that you do have it, or that, all right, fine, I'm just going to go with another solution, which is get another version of the same thing, realize you don't really need the thing, so on and so forth. And then boom, it's right there. But when you're constantly playing the searching game, looking under the rug, under the cushion, you know, looking on the outside essentially, where is it? Where is it? Where's my SP? Where's my relationship? Where's my bank account? Where's my diagnosis? Doctor's diagnosis. Where is it? Where is it? I looked everywhere. I did everything. Think about it. Think about how often it is in your experience of life that you were striving and struggling to make that thing happen. And then as soon as you let go, it's just like, oh, aha, right. Oh, or relief. Ah, there it is. How often are you operating from that state of consciousness when you're going about your day? In whatever it is that you have to do, in whatever relationship you're dealing with, how often are you coming from the sense of relief? I already received it. I already got it. It's all good. It doesn't matter which way I go to get it. So in Paula's case, I'm just going to go to the store and get another one. I mean, at the end of the day, was it that big of a deal that Paula went and got another one? No, it wasn't.
I laugh at that. I'm like, ah, here it
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Oh, oh, huh. That thing I was looking for, if I had it the whole time. Uh,
Like
right? Isn't
I'm like, I'm not surprised. I'm not, I
right?
literally like I'm talking this, I'm not surprised. Like, look at you. Okay.
I mean, isn't that what the mystics keep trying to point out to us? When and again, like I said, it's not a trivial thing. Like, sure, like we can laugh about it, and we should, but also when you realize that you are it, you are the one who's blocking, quote unquote, blocking the flow. And by you, it's the one that you call yourself and that concept you have of yourself. This is why I like to see the cameras on, because I do get to actually see y'all, even as y'all are working or doing whatever it is that y'all are doing. I don't mind. I don't I don't think it's particularly necessary for you to be sitting in attention like you're in an army depot or something, um but having the camera on, it just lets me know, did you get it? Are you getting it? Am I nailing something? So
Sometimes these situations get these these occurrences to remind me of, well, for instance, today I drove into town, but I also think of what am I not noticing, so then it puts me into a place of paying more attention of, what am I really seeing beyond what's right there? What am I seeing more of? I was just sharing with a friend today that there is this dam that's uh, on the way to my ex's house. And I used to drive by there all the time. Like when I lived here previously, like that was the area I lived in. Never ever seen white swans there. But I said, they were probably, I don't know if they were there before. I might not have been paying attention. I'm pretty sure I was not paying attention. But now just there's a ton of them. I see them there all the time. I'm seeing the white swans there all the time. So I'm like, what have I not been paying attention to?
right. That's making me think of my friend Candace, your friend as well, Paula, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and how she sees rainbows all the
Mm-hmm.
time, and all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh,
what, yeah, right. what I think of it, sometimes it's a totem, that little wink to yourself, like, right. So when you see the swans, you can't deny that that was something that came from within,
Hmm. Yep. And the
right?
eagle too. Today,
Mm.
4 eagles. You don't always see that, but I'm the one that tends to see
You see it.
more than one. I usually
Hmm.
see 3 or 4 all together. People are like, you don't usually see that. Well, I do. So what did I say to myself? They love me. All birds love me.
And there it is, and you're conscious of it now,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And then that will feed your loop. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? To the point to where you kind of take it for granted. Like, man, and then every now and again, you're just like, oh, right, that's right. Birds do love me. It's just been sitting in the background, unconscious,
Hmm.
right? But you placed it there. You accepted that reality. You accepted that truth. Now, where are you not applying this truth?
Um, yes, that was my realization too as I was driving. And I go, okay, guess what? Money loves me. Money loves to come play with me. Money adores me. We like to have fun together. And then I bring it into other areas, like, with the sound baths and stuff. It's like everyone loves me. Everyone loves to experience it in high demand. Like, so I'm just like, let's bring it into other areas too. So yeah.
Now, now do does that feeling of fulfillment match the same fulfillment you have with the swans and the eagles yet?
I would say not fully yet.
Got it.
Not fully.
Got it. Got it. Now, that's great. That's great. And here's why. Remember what we were saying about being conscious and unconscious of something. Now that you're conscious of it, you can do something about it,
Hmm.
right? So it's like, wait, okay, what what is it that I want? Oh, it's that feeling. Got it. I'm going to right now just assume. I'm not going to try to make anything happen. I'm not going to try to figure out how. I'm just going to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, the words are a tool to get you there, right? It feels great to be abundant. It feels great to have stats. It feels great to have investments. It feels great to just know that money is always working for me. It feels great that money is playing, right? But at some point, you want to get to the place to where it becomes unconscious,
It's like
to where,
natural.
right, to where when you do become conscious of, you're like, whoa, it's been here the whole time. Now, what do I mean by this? Think about your old man state in whatever aspect of your life that you're trying to navigate, and how every time you look out through your eyes, you get proof that you ain't it. And it's almost like a shock every time you see it, right? Where it's just like, oh, why does this keep happening? I'm like, you become, right, you're conscious of the lack of the thing, right? But it's like, oh, reverse it. Every time, whenever that is for you, you become conscious of that new dwelling space. It just becomes something you take for granted, to where you've assumed it enough and it hardens into the fact to the point to where you wouldn't even notice it. You just be making moves. You wouldn't be dwelling in worry and so on and so forth. The next thing you know, you'd be doing the thing you didn't even realize it. This is the reason why um Peter walking on water, when he like looked down and then he fell into the water, and it's because of that doubt. You get that shock, like, ah, I'm doing that thing, and then all your sabotage comes in, your fear and all that type of stuff, right? Well, I was again, I'm always listening to Neville, and I'm just getting clarity on what it is. Like, what's the simple message that I can pass on to you guys? And it's truly simple. He says, know exactly what it is that you want, devise a scene that would imply that you sit still in a comfortable position and assume that you are that person. And then you would do it over and over again. And if your mind wanders, bring it back. And if your mind wanders, bring it back. And if your mind wanders, bring it back until you get to that place where it's a knowing, and you open your eyes and you're shocked that you were that you that you're where you are right now. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, wait. It's true. That is all you need to do. You need to learn how to still yourself and go into that feeling, go into that end scene. But when you look at it on the longer scale of what it is that you're up to in your everyday life, it's the same thing. As you go through your day and you're wandering, completely misfocused, thinking about your old shit, condemning yourself, condemning others, and this and the other, anytime you notice that your mind is wandering, bring it back. Bring it back to the state of the wish fulfilled. You don't need to do anything out there. Just make sure that where you are operating from is from the state of the wish fulfilled. If you do what we normally do, which is, eh, woe is me. Here he goes again.
Mhm.
This doesn't work. Guess what? You're right. And guess what? That's what you keep going back to. Who's doing it? Who is it? Who is it? It's Robert. That's who it is. It's not me. It's Robert. It's not Paula. It's not Earl. It's not Armors. It's all Robert's fault. Robert is mad. No. It's just I. It's just I. Yeah, you got to make the moves. You got to do the things. You got to get put things in the buckets that. But what are you imagining about you? I'm feeling like 2020 right now. Like I feel like I'm just doing that all over the place thing. But I'm gonna pause the mic. I want to hear from who do I want to hear from? Well, I think Earl's making delivery. I want to hear from Armors. Armors, how's it going, bud? Oh, he just muted his mic just as he was
Oh,
laughing.
hey Jerry,
Hey, Armors,
how's it going?
it's going good, man. What 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 did you pick up, and how can I best serve you? in this moment?
Hmm. So let me just kind of tell you where I'm at right now. Um, so I'm gonna answer the second part first. I think how you can best serve me in this moment is just allowing me to observe
Mm,
and and kind of let me work my way back in.
fair
Being on a
enough.
hot seat, yeah, being on a hot seat, and I'm just using that word because that's what came up. Um, doesn't feel like the right place for me to be at this moment, since this is my first call back in probably a couple months. And so I just want to kind of just observe and work my way back into the center.
No problem, Armor. That thank you for letting us know. And it's funny you said hot seat because at some point during that monologue, the word hot seat popped up in my mind. So there you go. Someone just
Yeah, yeah. I'm just happy to be here. Just glad to
very
be here. All right.
cool. Well, I'm glad to have you back on the Wednesday call, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Much love. All right, cool. So the mic is sizzling apparently. Uh so um maybe Robert or Earl, whoever wants to Rochambeau can Rochambeau. I think Earl's on a delivery right now, which is yeah, cool. Was it you? Were you trying to unmute Robert?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Um, the visualization, I think that last piece that you were talking about in regards to having a clear picture as to what you want or that scenario is so important because uh I've had scenarios where it's like a vague manifestation, like, I'll just be like, you know, I can't even think of a situation right now, but it was vague. It wasn't specific. Like I can think of specific ones, like my house, I'm getting that house, and I got that house, you know. Um, but there's others where it just wasn't clear, and I wasn't thinking about it in a specific way, and I don't get the result, and then I'm upset. I'm like, you know, this and that. Um, and I think what you said is so important, and it's something that I need to like put in practice, like as soon as we get off the call, is really think about where I want to be, exactly where I want to be, or as close as possible where I want to be with finances, loved ones, family, and so on, in order to clearly, like whenever I do my 3x3s, um, is it 3x3s? Yeah,
Hmm.
the 3 times per day. Whenever I do my 3-minute meditations, to just make sure that I have a clear picture that accompanies the, the affirmations that I'm saying in my mind. Because I think there's some affirmations that I'll say as I'm meditating or think on, and like you said, it's vague. I want my significant person. Um, yeah, but what's the situation? Where do you want to be with your significant person? You can have that person, and that person could be hell on earth, or you have that person and have a family, and in Hawaii and Big Island regularly, you know, hanging out with peeps, just whatever, So it's I think that's a very clear. It's a good. It was good to hear that, so that I can put in motion that practice of you know being exactly where I want to be. Um, in regards to everything else, where you focus on the, I want to say you focus so much on the problem and not the solution, which is finding for Paula, was finding the toothpick, the group of toothpicks. You know, the problem is I can't find the toothpick, not the toothpick is there, and so it's so important for us to remove ourselves from that state. I think I'm getting better at removing myself from the state, just keeping myself under that weight of, oh, the problem, the problem, the problem, the problem, versus, as us, as we say, you guys, the stereotypical Jamaican, everything all right, it's all good. It's uh, for me, what I started doing is just, like, because I work in software engineering and cyber, I do this. It's kind of like I have numerous projects. Oh, cool! I can't figure something out here. I go to another project and work on that one until something comes up. So I need to, like, I think as I'm listening to that part of the lecture, I should also put into practice what I do at work. Can't figure this out right now. Solution's there. Maybe I just need to recalibrate, go for a walk, you know, watch something, look at neighbors, do dumb stuff, whatever, just something to take my mind off what is a problem, and, you know, remove myself from the situation. So I think both of those concepts are very important. It's a good reminder for me, especially that one I was talking about, which is what was that one? Damn, I forgot it. Visualization. The clear picture of where you want it to be. I think it's very important. And it's so funny. I used to do it growing up as an athlete. They would tell us, um,
Yes,
before that, the
exactly.
night before your races, think about every phase of the race, your body, um,
Exactly.
how you expect to react. It's so funny. I used to do this regularly, and my best
But
races were nights where I fall asleep, like going through the race phase by phase by phase, to the
exactly
finish line.
right.
So
Exactly
yeah,
right. It's exactly right. That's it. That's it.
yeah. So yeah,
I
good
mean,
reminders.
yeah, man, of course. It's so funny. My job, literally, my job is just to remind y'all of who y'all are and how this works. That's my job. Like, you guys already know how to do everything Neville taught. It's who you are. It's just we're so hypnotized by this outside world. This mirror is just so gosh darn alluring and believable and real and solid. The raindrops feel real on your skin. The the hug from your spouse, that feels real as well. But the fact is, it's actually just a receipt of that which occurred in your consciousness first. So, like, we're not take our minds off of what seems to be, because what seems to be is to those to whom it seems to be. So, just like Robert was saying, when you get into those 3 times 3, get beyond the vain affirmation and get into that feeling. And like I always say, do it for the sake of doing it. Do it for the sake of doing it, because when you're doing it for the sake of doing it, you're more likely to not have any resistance towards it. It's easier for you to persist there and have fun there and imagine there. And another thing is, maybe you can't visualize. Maybe you can't visualize, and by visualize I mean like see through your imaginal eyes. But maybe you can hear through your imaginal ears. Maybe you can sense with your imaginal senses. Like maybe you can feel a hug way better than you can see a person. Maybe you can hear a friend's congratulations better than you can feel the hug. Some people are good at smell. I am not. I don't even bother trying. That's not my thing. As big as my schnoz is, it's just I still can't smell in my imaginations. It's the damnedest thing. I keep trying, but it ain't happening. Neville shares a story of a woman who couldn't write. Like she didn't enjoy writing what she was thinking, but she could paint apparently like nobody's business. She could paint you a word like just a painting just like that. And he shared about another uh, uh audience member of his that could hear really well in her imagination. She could literally remember a conversation and just play it over in her mind's eye like a record. And Neville, you know, obviously talks about seeing things and giving things the tone of all the tones of reality. So we have different imaginal senses that we're very attuned to. So, get to this isn't necessarily homework, but if you want to get to practicing fun ways to practice, practice with the different senses in your imagination. Practice shaking somebody's hand or like how with the dollar bill, um um stretching a dollar bill or whatever, or uh imagine standing under a waterfall, um like feeling that pressure on your shoulders, and maybe see when I'm thinking waterfall, I can actually hear the sound of it hitting on my head as I'm feeling the pressure on the top of my head. I can actually feel that right. Neville gave an exercise. Imagine hearing an orchestra playing a song. So I would say, like to Robert, Robert, imagine hearing your favorite salsa song, right? And he's just like, yeah, you can hear it full stereo, right? Yeah, it's right there. But where are the instruments, right? And just like that, just like I pointed out the red thing, object blanket in Paula's couch. Now Robert's conscious of his favorite song. I mean, where did it come from? You can do the same thing with a friend's conversation and actually feel it real. Like it's not just a phantasm, it's like an actual thing. Um, right now, you guys, this was a cool exercise that I was practicing earlier this week. Um, just getting in the act of like looking at an object with your physical eyes. This is just like fun practices so you can really learn to focus your attention on one thing, right? So I look at an object, study it, whatever, and then I close my eyes and I try to keep that image in my mind as best I can, try to give it its color, try to remember where the this, that, and the others, Nick Knacks and Paddywhacks are. And if you're able to do this, you can then get into the act of like controlling your imagination. And again, this is something Neville Goddard was talking about in um, Prayer, the Art of Believing. And I was like, and I realized I never really paid attention to that book. And I was like, this guy called it an art. I love art. All right, let's see how this is art. And it boiled down to just practice. So I know you guys are here because there's some big, quote unquote, big problem. But remember that there's nothing that's bigger than you. So, in order to solve big problem, the best thing you can do is learn to control your imagination and have a realization of who you truly are. So one of the ways you can do this that's really fun, really easy, is to learn to focus your attention on a very um, inanimate object that you don't necessarily have a huge attachment to, and just practice the focusing of your mind. And again, like I always say, for the sake of doing it, because we're doing it anyways, right? We're in our phone all the time, scrolling, watching videos, having conversations with our friends, talking on the phone, but we never just sit down to actually practice the art of, as Neville would call it, believing. The art of believing. And what did he say? What is the art of believing? It's prayer. Prayer is the art of believing. What was prayer to Neville? Those 4 steps that I said earlier. Know exactly what you want. Devise a scene that would imply you had it. Play that scene over and over in your mind's eye until it takes on the tones of reality, but just focusing on it. Then going about your day knowing that it's done. If you can learn to focus your attention on one set thing just for the sake of training your brain to be still on one thing, you will manifest that thing. Because it's all coming from within you. Whatever you're holding on to within has to come out. It will be expressed. And anything that says otherwise, you have to crowd it out. As Earl is up to right now with revision. He's killing it with revision. I'm looking at him looking all spiffy with that new FedEx outfit on, chilling in his truck, having to do deliveries, which requires him to get a workout in.
Well, actually, it ain't a new FedEx outfit. It's just redoing the old one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm actually a tractor trailer driver, so I don't do a bunch of deliveries. I just go to a truck stop in South Carolina and meet another driver and come back.
Sounds pretty simple.
Yeah, the only thing messed up is the route I got to take is it's a lot of traffic for the whole entire way. When it's not traffic, then it's construction. So
Mm,
it's kind of like resistance the whole way.
that's interesting.
Yeah, but
No
what I
pin.
noticed,
Hmm.
go ahead.
No, go for it.
What I noticed about what you were saying about the big problem,
Hmm.
in that moment I thought about it and it hit me that there's no such thing as a big problem.
Exactly.
If you look at anything, like even with a city, there's no such thing as a big city. It's just a small, a number of zip codes and counties connected to make a big city.
Mhm.
So that's the same way a problem is. It's just a bunch of small problems that are all connected and rooted in one thing. But you're seeing it as a big problem because of how it's all connected. So that made me take away the whole perspective of something is big and just see it as, well, it's just a bunch of small problems that's all connected.
That's the bridge of incident. I wouldn't even look at them as problems at all. They're just things you got to do.
Yeah,
That-
as I was saying problems, I was just feeling the same way. Like, don't even call it a problem, but it's basically don't call it big or a problem. Just it's
yeah,
all connected.
yeah. It's just it's just it's just the next step. That's all it is. It's an invitation to the next step.
Like driving in traffic and dealing with construction.
I mean, it might. I'm not saying it's not necessarily going to be pleasant, but 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 even that, you guys, revision. Everything is an opportunity for you to go home. If you use it as an opportunity to revise and reimagine, it's like Paula said, we never see these type of birds around here. Well, it happens for me. You would happen to be the one driver who doesn't get caught in that traffic. Somehow, some way, you're always able to get through it. Why? Because it just happens to be that way. You guys, it's no different. It's just an assumption. And it seems so normal and real because it's just normal and real. This is how we normally interact in this world. This is just what it is. This route happens to be the heavy traffic route. So I always get caught up in it. You're right. That seems to be true. So it is. And then you keep assuming it's true and it hardens into fact because you let your mind wander and you accepted it as true. It's the same thing. But but Jerry, we're only human. I do have to live in this traffic. We do have to just telling you guys how the law works.
You know what? On what you just said is actually true because if I were to leave about maybe an hour and a half or so earlier than what I leave, I probably could run the route without hitting traffic. So it's like,
Maybe.
even though, no, I'm saying I've done it and
Mm,
notice that if I leave at this time, I always get back before traffic starts. But usually the route I'm on, I get held up to where I can't leave that early. So basically, I was just saying, like, once you do believe that you won't be in traffic, all it would take is just something shift you an hour and a half earlier or an hour and a half later, and
mhm.
that's enough to where what you thought was impossible literally just became possible.
It's it's always an opportunity to go home. That's all I'll say. Man, I used to get thrown off by these little annoyances, and then I started realizing I was like, well, you know what? If that delay didn't happen, I wouldn't have, you know, gotten to that place to do that thing, and then that would have gotten there, and next thing you know, that's how I met my fiance. I know that sounds like I was just all over the place and just describing that, but when it comes to the bridge of incident, you start to realize that everything is working out in your favor, even when, even these annoying traffic delays. So, like, yes, if you don't want to be in traffic, that's just not what you want in your lifestyle. Imagine that you have a smooth ride. That's totally fine. And at the same time, recognize that no matter what is showing up, annoying, frustrating, whatever, it's all coming from within you. So all you need to do is go within and change. But but that's not what we typically do. That's what the key is recognizing that's you. It's not about going a little bit earlier. You might be compelled to. That might be very true. But it's not going to come from your conscious mind like that. I mean, it might be like it might. I don't know how it unfolds, you guys. That's also what I'm trying to tell you guys. I don't know how it's going to unfold. I just know that it is unfolded. That red thing, it's already there. You don't have to go looking for it. The very thing you're desiring, that very thing you want, the very thing you're frustrated and you're just losing your mind over, just won't work. Just can't get it. I don't understand. Why does it work for this but not for that? Why am I stuck in traffic? Why is this? Why all of that? It's always an opportunity for you to see the truth. I know it sounds cray cray. I know it sounds nuts. I I have so many stories in my mind that I don't even like. I just want to share like when you realize that it really is coming through you guys, you can relax. Exactly, Robert. Just relax and let the phone drop.
My desk goes up and down. I touched the wrong button.
Oh, um, and he's probably like, "Why the hell did that happen?" It's to make Jerry laugh. That's why it happened. Um, so yeah. So it's the bottom of the hour. I feel like I've hogged the mic. I think that's part of my job, but still. Um, I want y'all to go into this week relaxing. Whatever it is, that thing, can we just like assume right now? No, like not like fake, like machismo, I am this. Like just right now, I'm gonna stop worrying about this thing. I'm gonna stop being frustrated about this thing and just accept that it's done. And when it comes to taking action towards this thing, I'm just gonna take the action and let the chips fall as they may because it's done. I'm not gonna make any big deal out of it. I'm not gonna force anything to happen. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm not gonna worry. I'm just gonna do it. Why? Because it's already done. You're not sitting in traffic right now. Just assume you're not sitting in traffic. And though your physical senses say you are sitting in traffic, no, you're at home, free, relaxed. You're sitting there having a poor relationship with your dear loved one. All your senses are telling you they don't love me. They don't want me. They don't respect me. We're never on the same page. That's what your senses say. But in you, I don't find, no, it's not true. It's done. I'm already free. I'm already respected. I'm already loved. I already love.
This lecture is in sync with a testimonial that your friend Rose had posted on her YouTube. Wasn't even a client of hers, but somebody that came across her YouTube channel who had been practicing law like we have been, like we do, for years, manifested some things. But I love what you said because it really resonate with it. It's just to relax, let go of the worry. So that's what he took from one of her videos. I guess she posted about a year ago. Just let go of the worry, and he did, and he just made it all about him. And he said he just knew, like I said, he knew it was already done. He just allowed himself every single day, brought himself to that person who was already experiencing, knowing that it was already done, and how things just unfolded for him, just bit by bit, and then realized he, having the clarity of what he really wanted. So he decided there were two things he really wanted. He was going to focus on those two things, crafted he did it by scene, crafted a specific scene for both, and just knew, okay, they're done. And within several months, they just one came about was he wanted a office, a bigger office space so that he could do his work. And he says, just suddenly one of the directors in the company retired, and he was next in line to get the office. And he goes, it was the big office space he wanted. And then the other one was that he wanted a certain amount of a six-figure income from that specific company, and devised the scene of his boss, and I think the general manager, where they were sitting together with him in an office, and them expressing that, thanking him for the work he's been doing, and saying they were going to give him that raise, that specific amount. That was it. But in between there, he was some billion-dollar company reached out to him, a recruiter, and said, hey, we want you to work for us. So he said for a whole month he interviewed with them. And then, he goes, he was treated as a king. Like, they flew him out to them. He goes, I was treated as a king. And then they offered him that specific six-figure amount that he wanted. But he didn't take it because he said to himself, I really want to stay at the company that I'm at. So he decided he was going to take that offer, bring it to his boss, and see maybe if they could figure something out. So he let his boss know that he really likes this company he's at and wants to stay there, but this is an offer he was given. Like, could they maybe work something out? And his boss was like, we don't want to lose you. So he goes, let me talk to the general manager. And within minutes, they called him in the office, and he explains that the exact scene he crafted literally happened, where they thanked him, and that they wanted to keep him, and they offered him that six-figure income, just like that. The bridge of incidents, of that billion-dollar company wanting to hire him, and that they just opened the door for him to receive what he wanted in an ease. Like, I was like, wow. He said, just let go. I left it. Just let go of the worry. Just let it go. It's already done.
It's already done.
It's
It
like,
can't not be done. The very fact that you have it, it's only you. It's your refusal to believe it that prevents it.
it's like taking the inspired action. So I'm looking at what the inspired actions I'm taking, recently, but now it's I want to say, to up it, to up, to come, what, have another clear idea, clear desire, or clear outcome, what I'm wanting, but and be there. I mean, there are things that I'm clear about, but for me, my business, I want to get even clearer with that, now that what I've been wanting has been playing out, but now I want to get bigger. So
2020 talks about that idea about, as you keep going down your bridge of incident and you practice your imaginal act and you see all these things happening, you're going to start noticing that your desires bring upon more desires.
mhm.
It's like, oh, it's working. Well, I don't want just any business. I want this type of business. I don't want just any type of this type of business. I want it specifically like this, and this is what I want to hear from my clients. They're going to love it so much. But it's a natural unfolding when you're letting it happen. You're not going down your bridge of incident saying, oh, I need to do this move to make this move so I can then next make that move. Although those are the things that you can come up with initially, you'll come to find out that that's usually not how the plan goes. So there's no reason to really stick to a plan like that and do what Paula is more talking about. Follow the bridge. Right now, she has a new desire. Oh, I want something more specific. I love it. It's like poetry. It's like literally chiseling away at a sculpture. You have an idea of what you want this sculpture to look like, but until you really get to chiseling it in your mind's eye, it starts to take on the tones of reality. It takes on new aspects and new aesthetics because new people come into your life, right? And you get to talking with new people and like, oh, that's a good idea. No, that's a terrible idea. That's a thing. That you accept and you reject. Why? Because it's your garden. It's your mind. It's your experience. It's your adventure. And it's specifically for you. It's so, look at, man, come on. It's so perfect for you. Everybody's playing their part. All right. Y'all don't get me too excited. Y'all get me excited. Y'all put a microphone on me and y'all just get me talking and shit.
Love it.
I could do honestly, I could do this for hours. I have done, Paula, you know that. I could do this for hours. I have done this for hours.
I could too. I could keep going on. I'm like, I get it. Yeah. I get it.
All right, you awesome people. Y'all are good. This week I'm going to do a talk about Joseph Benner's Wealth. So y'all might want to try to find that online, a PDF called Wealth by Joseph Benner. I think it's from like 1939.
Can you put it in
And
the chat so that
I can do that. And yeah, so I've been I've been studying that for like the last week or so, and so I want to be able to just share my insights from it, and also share the realizations that I've had with you guys, and maybe hopefully you can apply that this week's lecture. I've never actually done a lecture specifically on wealth. So this is going to be an interesting one. So
Mhm.
uh I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well. But it'll be a good talk. But I'll send y'all the lecture, and we'll talk about it on Friday.
All right, sounds good.
Hey,
Great.
Jerry, have anybody signed up for your retreat?
I have not gotten any signups yet, but we're still working on it. I've had some good sales calls though. I got kicked off of Facebook, by the way. So I so 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 I did one live, and then I get kicked off of Facebook, and I'm like, oh man, what the hell? So
What?
yeah, so I was like, I can't even do my post today, so um I'll be back on in 3 days or something like that. It's literally for some post that I made back in 2012, uh, and they won't show me the picture, so I don't even know if I can defend it or not. Um, so it's a hot mess or whatever. But to answer your question, Earl, no, I have no sales yet, but we'll get there.
How
Jerry, is
much do it
there
cost?
It's on the site. It's 5K. What's up, Armors?
that's what I was about to ask. Is there like a PDF or an overview or anything of the retreat?
Yeah, here we go. I'll send y'all the link in the chat as well. Not the chat, the what do you call it? The Telegram group. But so I'll get y'all the link to the retreat, and I will also get y'all a copy of Wealth by Joseph Benner. Sound good?
Yep.
Oh, where did Armors go? Did I scare him away?
Okay,
All right. I'll see you guys later.
thanks, Jerry. See you on Friday.